There are words that there are a lot of words that I am choosing not to use anymore, speak anymore. And one of those words I said 3 times in this last video that I made. And I was like, oh, can't believe I said that word. And it's because I wasn't thinking, and it feels like I went back in time and I was sharing something that happened a long time ago. And also I am choosing to be more conscious of what I'm thinking and what I'm speaking, even as I am just doing it in the moment without thinking and just letting the words come to the surface to, yeah. Our words are so powerful. Every word carries a frequency, a vibration that is felt. I'm becoming more and more conscious of this and more sensitive to it all the time. I was right before this, actually, I just got up from taking a nap. I came this close to not being here, not doing this last video, day 30. And I'm like, I'm really looking at this, seeing myself, like I was in this state of really saying, uh, it's the last day, it's all right. You did 29, that was good. And that's interesting. And so I become aware of that. And then I'm becoming really more conscious of it. And then I always come back to myself. I always come back to myself. I always come back to my truth, what I truly feel, what I truly would like to do. Uh, it takes a moment with breathing, doing some breaths. Yes, doing some powerful candle breaths. And then it clears whatever that was, whatever the fogginess of it was, whatever that was attempting to make me think something other than what was really my truth. I had a moment earlier today when I was asking myself, or a part of my mind was had this question of what are you doing? What are you doing these, like asking me, like, what are you doing these videos again for? Why are you doing this? It was an interesting voice. I'm like, where's this voice coming from? And it made me ask myself the same thing. That voice sounded very distant and odd, and yet it brought up in me. I was asking myself the question, and and then again, I chose to get out of my head and come back into my body so I could really feel the truth. Like, there's a real good reason that I'm doing this, and so and still it feels like I'm just getting started, and I'm not even. I keep saying this. I'm not even thinking about anything else. I'm just being present, and I'm just trusting. So I've gotten very used to change and letting myself change, and I was being reminded, shown when I was 17, around that time. I could be, I began to really be conscious of myself changing, and it was so, um, the words that I remember back then, it's like, what are the words to say what I'm feeling? Because I remember beginning to miss parts of myself that I was leaving behind, and it was all on the inside. And it was just a very, I remember because, I really felt like I really liked that part of me. I really liked that part of me that felt like was changing. And I wasn't sure of what I wasn't really sure of if I could feel that really good again, if that makes sense. Then when I was 20, I heard my inner guidance for the first time, and it was in a time when was really not an easy time at all. And I heard my inner guidance for the first time, and she said, "You don't have to live like this. There is a better way." She said, "You don't have to live like this. There is a better way." And And I listened, and it was so remarkable that I could just sense that that voice was true. I sensed that that voice was true, and I said, show me, show me. And since then, I've been listening. And since then, I have always felt like I had something to hold on to within myself. And that has just grown and grown, and to the point today where that's how I live my life fully. I listen and I listen and I act on that voice. I act on the intuition. All right, it's day 30 here, and I would like to imagine. Would you like to imagine something with me just right here in this moment? To imagine, because when we imagine, we create. When we imagine, we get to experience what we're imagining as we're feeling uh, and seeing what we're imagining in our imagination. So I'm imagining that we are all together, all of us that we love. We are all together in this big field, this big meadow, and it's the most beautiful day, and the sun is shining, and there's a breeze, and nearby there's water, whether there's a lake or an ocean. It's like everything is there. Whatever you love in nature is there for you, is there for us. And I am imagining that the vibration is so high and we're so full of joy, and that we're all sitting in circles together. Like there's this different places of circles, and we're all together and we're having these connections, these soul to soul connections with each other. We're having a conversation, and each one of us, each one of us is speaking our voice. Each one of us, without thought, each one of us is we're taking our turn to open our mouth and let our voice be heard without thought, without thinking, just being in the moment in a high frequency and so much joy and so much love. And we're listening to each other because the words that we're speaking from our soul in this joy and this love is the most beautiful sounds that we have ever heard.